So we're gonna just act like that hiccup never happened. All right. So let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Eric Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
CrockTalk TV podcast. Welcome back to another episode of CrockTalk TV. I am your host, former NFL and NFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And if you are just now getting in, you probably missed a little hiccup we had, but I'm back and we're ready to go. All right, I had to move everything over from my office to the dungeon, so I'm back in the gym. Really, all my OG subscribers, you already know where this is. All right, so before we get started, make sure if you're not already, subscribe. All right, hit that subscribe button. If you are over on Periscope, head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. All right, we're finna get going with this. So today we got film study. Let's go. We got film study. All right, so I was watching the game, as were all of you, and I'm like, man, these cornerbacks, these young dudes are getting targeted a lot. And I'm watching Deommodore Lenoir, and I'm watching Ambry Thomas out there, and I'm like, man, you know, for as much as they're getting targeted and challenged vertically and really all over the field, I'm like, man, these dudes they're working hard. And I kind of wanted to talk about some things that I took away from that and I really like. Now, if you listen to Locked On 49ers, which most of you guys do, right? I'm going to assume all y'all listen to Locked On 49ers. But as long as you listen to Locked On 49ers, then you heard me talk about things that I really like, things that I thought were challenging with the way that they I don't want to say got schemed up against, but just certain things that kind of happened to them in coverage. And I got a comment from someone on Twitter that was like, 4 words, get your head around. All right, or get their head around, whatever it was 4 words. And I was like, you know what, you make a valid point, but we're going to get into all that, all right, and maybe why the head wasn't getting around like some people would like. All right, so again, before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right. Well, what is this? Don't forget to try the BBB bacon triple at Jack in the Box, $8 for a large. Man, don't be eating that poison, man. Don't be eating that poison. All right, but glad to have you back. Appreciate you guys. Man, I'm sorry. I don't want to sound shocked by as many people are in here, but you know, man, y'all really rock with me, man. I had a quick hiccup, but you guys are still here. So let me pull up my file, and we're going to get into Deommodore Lenoir. All right, where's my recent videos? I probably should have this up already. Where is it at? Desktop? No. Where did I put it at? Hold on, y'all. I gotta find the file. I don't know why I didn't have this pulled up already. Oh, here we go. All right. Anyways, before we get started, how did you ever try out for the Niners? No, I did not try out for the Niners. There were 3 teams I had NFL workouts with. The New Orleans Saints. Matter of fact, the New Orleans Saints flew me in the week of the Super Bowl when the 49ers were playing the Ravens. So as the 49ers were preparing for the Ravens game, I was actually working out for the Saints. I had a private workout with myself and this guy, Chad Jones, I believe his name was. He was a safety at LSU. I think he played baseball as well. He was like a 2nd or 3rd round pick, tore his ankle up or his leg, like destroyed his leg in a car accident. So he and I worked out at the same time. They did not sign me. They were going to bring me back. They were going to give me a rookie minicamp tryout. And then maybe a week or 2 later, I had a workout with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm about 95% sure that John Middlecoff was there as one of the scouts. Anyways, the Eagles didn't keep me. And that was a nerve-wracking workout. I mean, we're talking about a workout where it's just me and there were like 70 guys from the Eagles front office. So that was Chip Kelly's year there. Crazy workout. All right. The workout wasn't hard, just the circumstances of it. And then after that, New York Jets. They flew me in, private workout, everything, and I ended up signing with them. No, I don't have all 22. Glad you made it back, Croc. I was trying to hang in there with you earlier. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm back. All right, so I appreciate it. Sounds like we got everybody in here. All right, again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. All right, all that good stuff. And now, man, we're finna get into some film study. All right, so share screen, window, share. All right, is it up? Yep, we can see it. Here we go. All right, here we go. We got Deommodore Lenoir. So he's always going to be kind of boxed up. All right, and there are just certain things that I wanted to just highlight, like the things that kind of go through my mind as I'm watching these guys. All right, so obviously this is the TV copy, but I felt like there was more than enough for me to kind of get a feel for how Deommodore Lenoir was thinking and how the receivers were making him feel. All right, so you see it right here off rip. I mean, look at the first guy that he's lined up against. I mean, we're talking about that's Tyreek Hill right there, right? So I want to see, like, all right, we're impressed. We're manned up. All right, manned up. Mano a mano. Me versus Tyreek Hill. How does somebody like Lenoir, who's a rookie in his first live action, does all his technique go out the window? Does he start doing some weird stuff? Does he open up and run? Is he quick to get out of there? Like, those are the things that I wanted to see. And here we go. Now you see him shoot that hand, he missed. And Tyreek Hill, like, he is quick. So once you shoot that hand, like, you really don't want to miss. I almost say you're better off playing more feet before hands. All right. Really playing with your feet. And if you can just square them up and get hands on, great. But I think a lot of times it's going to be a little difficult when you're going against a guy like Tyreek Hill. All right. So boom. And I thought that was good. Like, now this seems like something small, right? And again, we're watching him up top there, and we see him. This is a guy that's not scared to run vertically with Tyreek Hill. And the reason why I know he isn't is because a guy that's like really scared is like, oh snap, I got to get on my horse and go. They would have went more upfield. Like, they would have kept going as Tyreek Hill worked across field. All right, so we'll watch it again. Again, watching in fast motion here. Got him here. Doesn't get clean hands on at the line of scrimmage, but he uses his hands. And I thought he did a good job of reading them down. So, again, those were just little things that I wanted to kind of notice or take note of right away. What does it look like when he's defending Tyreek Hill? Again, lined up, press, man to man. You can count the guys in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What does that mean? That means that we have a single high safety. What does that mean? It means we don't really have much help on the sidelines, especially when, if you kind of really pay attention, the safety that's deep is Talanoa Hufanga. All right, that's the single high safety on this rep, Hufanga. All right, so I'd imagine he's not going to be great working sideline to sideline. So really, you are in man coverage on Tyreek Hill and you have no help. All right, so again, let's look at his technique. Is he quick to get out of there? Is he in a rush to get out of there? Does he open up real quick? Does he give a ton of ground? What's going through his mind as he's guarding Tyreek Hill? Again, I thought that was cool. Now, again, I'm just looking for little cues to see how he's playing. And again, we see it right here. He's not in a rush to get out of there. Now, here's the things I don't know. If this is Mahomes and Mahomes sees this, does Mahomes just throw it out there and let Tyreek Hill run underneath it? That's possible. That's possible. But just from the standpoint of rookie, first live action, one of his very first snaps in the game, what does it look like? the technique go out the window? I didn't think so. I thought he handled himself well. All right, here we go. What are we looking at here? You see somebody opened up? That means we're looking at zone. All right. Now, ideally, you would like to hold it to like the last second, hold the look, maybe stay down and then slowly creep out. He's creeping out now. If I had to guess, especially zones, most zones, a lot of zones are 2-to-1 reads. All right. So let's see where his eyes are. I remember why I like this. Hold on. It's going to go to the replay. So again, this is a 2-to-1 read, right? So he's bailing out. Look at his eyes. Not looking at 1. He's looking at 2, right? Now, one thing that we want to identify with a 2-to-1 read, if 2 goes away right now, you basically play man on 1. But since he's already open, let's see if he plays with any anticipation and squeezes this route. All right, there are a lot of guys that once 2 goes away, they still play this really soft here. And it's like, well, there's nobody else to threaten your zone. So let's see how he plays it here. Good. That's good. This is pretty much as good as it can pretty much get, right? Again, a guy that is reading 2-to-1, and you can see it. His eyes are clearly on 2 as 2 is going up here. Once he sees 2 is going away and diving away from him, he throttles down and sits more on this route. And we'll see that right here. Watch him throttle down. Look, see his eyes come here now, right? He was reading 2. 2 went away. Gets to 1, throttles down his route, and that's easy money. Good. Now, the receiver did end up kind of going up. I think that was him just trying to kind of freelance after the fact. But even then, and maybe they could have called illegal contact. But if you're going to go up, bro, I'm not going to give up a touchdown. I'll take the 5-yard illegal contact penalty, but you're going to have to fight through me. And I like that. Hufanga got there a little early. All right, here we go. We got him up here. And this isn't like super long film or whatever. We got 3 minutes worth of cut-ups. All right, so again, who is he guarding? Tyreek Hill. Again, what do we got? Hufanga playing single high. What does that mean? You really don't have no help. It's you and Tyreek Hill. Now, the only thing that really can help you here is the angles change because there's not like a whole lot of space behind you. So there's only so far that they can throw this ball. All right, so lined up. Again, we want to look at the technique. Good. Does he get in a panic? I didn't think so. What y'all think? I don't think any of the reps that he was guarding Tyreek Hill, he got in a panic. Good feet. That's feet before hands. Then just get on position and ride them. Good. And again, I mean, that was one thing that I wanted to see. And one second, let me pull this down because I want to talk to y'all a little bit. Here we go. Okay. Got us a super chat for bonus film. Can you go over how KC messed up on Trey's touchdown pass for Sherfield? Yeah, man, I'll bring that up. Go, got my people in here, 68 of y'all. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that like button. I'll answer a few questions before we get into a few more of the clips. Hufanga was great. He did a fantastic job all night. Got to take better angles, but overall, great night. Yeah, there was an angle, and I think the angle was kind of forced by the guy trying to block him, but it was on one of those early plays where Tyreek Hill did this like a fly sweep, and Hufanga kind of came underneath the block instead of over the block, and that messed up his angle and it let Tyreek Hill get to the sideline. But even then, I mean, it was only like a 5-yard gain or so. Nothing too crazy. Dude might not be fast, but I didn't hear people complain when Sherman didn't have the speed. Right. Now, the difference between him and Sherman, I'd say the height, right? Sherman had about 5 inches on him. So teams would typically kind of take that extra length and use that as like, I'm not saying it's faster, but it helps you kind of make up some ground. All right. Demo is nice. So far, so good. I don't think he was ready for Tyreek Hill's speed. I'll say this. I don't think anyone is just purely ready for Tyreek Hill's speed, but I would say he handled his speed as well as you could ask for in the reps that we saw. All right. But anyways, let's get back to it. Is it back up? Yep, there we go. All right, here we go. Got him here. Here we go. He's bailing out. Is this the interception? I think this might be an interception. All right, let's talk about the interception. And great job capitalizing on their mistake. But what did I see here? If he is in man, which they played a ton of man, I don't know though, because he's here. I mean, there it could be like maybe some form of cover 4, cover 6. All right, I don't even like guessing coverages. So, but one thing I would like to see him do, especially since it's like, well, you have no other threats. If this is zone, there's no other threats to your side. Go ahead and stay square. One got open up, right? So you see him open right here, right? Now, once he opens, it's going to make it look just a little bit harder to be able to flip his hips and come down here this way and flatten that off, right? So right now, since he is open, it just takes more time. And this was a really quick timing route. So the quarterback got the ball out now, boom. Now, good job on him flipping the hips and good job on him capitalizing on the play. And I thought his feet looked good and everything like that, but just in the sense of, like, you know, if he didn't drop it, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm looking at this play. Let's square off a little bit. And I think you could do maybe play catch technique, and that would really flatten this off and put him in position to pass, break up the pass. Now, again, you take this interception over breaking up the pass, but I think this is what we call bad money. All right, so me and my guys, we call that bad money. And what bad money means is you capitalize off of their mistake, which is not bad, but is that going to be consistent? And that's how I would kind of look at that. Right. So good job being there. I mean, he made the play. There are a lot of times where a ball gets dropped or tipped and guys don't come up with the interception, but he did. I mean, again, this is his first action, and every rep isn't going to be perfect. I'll talk about every rep in the sense of like teach tape, but every rep is not going to be perfect. So, I mean, that's just something where I would look to be. I remember I was watching Richard Sherman's film one time. I want to say when he was coming to the 49ers. And I remember being like, damn, this dude's film is like boring. But the film was boring because he just did things like consistently good. All right. So again, we look at it right here. See, I would like him to just stay a little square right here. Because once he opened, he didn't even really threaten him. So I would ideally stay square. But again, I mean, great job of capitalizing off of their mistake. Quarterback threw a little bit behind them. Couldn't handle it. Did an amazing job of being there, Johnny on the spot, and actually catching the ball. Because, again, there are a lot of guys that miss those type of opportunities. All right, here he is again, off coverage. And this was something that I thought he did well at Oregon. All right, so he's off. Now, again, you look at how much time there was with him sitting there, and a lot of times I even cut part of the film. So you can show it a little bit later. Right. And what I mean, show it like you can play with your alignment a little bit more. Show that you're doing something else, because if you do this against some of the better quarterbacks, especially like, you know, 49ers play week 3, they play Aaron Rodgers. This Aaron Rodgers, like, you know, he's going to check and do something and know exactly what you're in. So ideally, you like to hold off a little bit longer, show something else, and then get back to the spot. Because you know you got to get back to this spot anyways. And you know what you're going to do. You know what landmark you want to get at. So you don't have to show it this early. See how he's just kind of sitting there, right? Now, as he's sitting there, quarterback is collecting data. What is he doing? All right, he's just going to be off. This is a zone, no trickery to it. All right, let's just get out there. Nice little 5-yard pass. Quarterback knew where he was going. Why did quarterback know where he was going? Why was he so confident? All right, you're going to play it off. You're going to get out of there. It's a single high, so we know he's not squatting, right? You got a single high. He's not squatting. So, okay, I can just raise up and right now throw it. I mean, look at the quarterback. He knew off rip. Watch the quarterback's eyes. Boom. Here. He knew off rip where he was going. Ball out. Now, again, this isn't all on him. I'm pretty sure this guy probably has to get here. But what I'm saying is he could help hold off the quarterback just a little bit longer instead of letting the quarterback just catch and get it out. All right, so these just little notes that I'm, you know, thinking about as I'm watching them. Again, so far good. All right, here he is, impressed. Good. Now, there are a lot of people, and I saw a lot of the comments about got to get your head around. You tell him get his head around. All right. Let me tell you guys a little bit about how I think. First of all, to press. So, okay, hold on. Let me bring this down a little bit so I can talk to y'all a little bit. So press is an alignment. All right, press is an alignment. And hold on, let me get this off the screen. And again, I appreciate everybody that's in here. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button. We got about 80 people in here. So I should have 80 likes on this video when it's done. All right. All right. So I appreciate everybody that's in here showing love. Melissa, I appreciate you. I saw you, when we had the little hiccup. Before we had the hiccup, I saw you were in there ahead of time. So appreciate you. Bad money. That's right. That's what we call that. Now, again, there's nothing wrong. I mean, you got to capitalize on what you can capitalize on. But just in the grand scheme of things, ideally, we want to be more consistent with things because that's going to give us more consistency, like overall in our gameplay. All right. So that's just kind of how I look at that. But let's get into, getting the head around. All right. And I'll talk a little bit about that. So let me get back over here. Now, or actually, I want to start with his alignment first. So first we're talking about his alignment. And when 2 is on the ball and 1 is off the ball, that's actually, that makes it more difficult to press because you got to be way more patient with your technique. All right. You got to be more patient with your technique. And it's easier to kind of get in a rush mentally because the space is already created, right? I always talk a lot about impress. You don't want to create the space. But when you got a guy that's lined up off the ball, there's already 3 yards in between you guys. So how do you press or line up impress alignment and not get beat, not stop your feet when the guy has this much space already? It's a little difficult. All right. But I thought he did a good job of boom. Look at this. The guy worked to him. He did a good job. He inched out just a little bit, but he did do a good job of staying square. Look at him. Shoulders, feet, everything square. He wasn't in a rush to get out of there. Now, what does that do for the receiver? It makes the receiver have to work laterally right now, right? So if he wants to work laterally or, keep pushing or whatever, he can't because the corner's there. He got to work this way or this way. He's dictating that. So that's good. All right. Want to dictate that. And, my bad. One more note here. And I'll pause it. Hold on. And with him like this, again, making him either work laterally right now this way or laterally this way, since he stayed square, he can open up evenly to either side, right? And he's doing a good job here, right here, like square as well, right? But now he can open up. If he has to open up, turn around this way, he can. If he can do it this way, he can. He didn't get it. He wasn't in a rush. He wasn't opened up either way and really kind of putting himself at a disadvantage or having to guess right. All right, so that's good. Then he does a good job here. Hold on. Good job here. Working. Boom. Hands on. So this is a good job of feet before hands, right? He didn't just shoot his hands. He just shoot his hands right now. He's going to stop his feet. So he didn't just shoot his hands. Boom. Feet. Okay. My feet got me in position to do what? Get hands on. Good. Now, the tough thing with this one is the receiver looked right now. So when he looks right now, that ball is coming, right? Like right now, he knows the ball is coming. But since it's coming so quick and he doesn't feel like he's in control of the receiver just yet, he's working more to the hands because he doesn't know where the ball is. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, if he doesn't know where the ball is, why doesn't he just look back? It's like, it's not that simple because a lot of times what guys are thinking, especially when the ball is coming right now, if I look back, say the ball is here and he's already looking for it, and if I look back right now, the ball might drop in as I'm looking back for the ball. All right. So what he did a good job of is, damn, I don't have the receiver control, right? Like, is he in position to be able to pin the receiver, turn, look for the ball? No, right? And even then, the receiver still kind of has like half a step on him. So what does he do? Man, I got to work the play through the hands. Look at the receiver's hands, right here, and look at his hand right here. So all he's waiting for is the receiver to put his hand up. As soon as that receiver puts his hand up, what's he going to do? He's going to try to work to break that basket. All right. So receiver puts his hand up. Look, hand in there. Gets his hand in there. Good. Now again, I know what you guys are thinking. Why didn't he get his head around? But that's what I'm here to explain. The ball was coming right now. It was like he never really got in position to be able to get in phase. Look at the ball's already in the air. He just kind of got to the receiver. And then I think he didn't feel like he ever really truly had him controlled. So that's a good job. Now, again, let me talk to y'all a little bit. So again, that's just him really not feeling like he had 100% had the receiver controlled to be able to get his head around. So when you guys are saying, get his head around, oh man, I'm trying to explain a little bit of what's going through his mind. That's what I'm talking about. Melissa, 22 likes. Come on, we got almost 90 people in here. There should be 90 likes in here, all right? I appreciate the contribution. Croc, this content is too good to give away for free. Hey, man, we got the contribution, man. I appreciate that. You guys really like the content. Go ahead, leave a contribution there. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right, here we go. Back to the film. Where'd it go? Here we go. All right. Here he is again. Now, here, again, the space is already created, right? Why is the space already created? I mean, this blue line, that's what the line of scrimmage is. Line of scrimmage is right there, right? But you got 3, he's on the ball. So then now these guys got to be off the ball and on different planes, different levels. So, again, is he impressed, man? So this might be, let's see. So this looks like a fire zone. All right, now a fire zone is basically like, it's kind of like man for the outside guys. All right, this is how everybody thinks of Richard Sherman as a zone corner. And again, I don't know exactly what it's called here, but I'm assuming, and I'm not like a huge scheme guy, but I did run some fire zone stuff when I was with the Jets. And fire zone looks like this. These underneath guys are dropping into zones. The outside guys, again, single high. You got one single high guy here, and then you got these guys, and they're really responsible for anything vertically and outside, or even if he stops. So damn near is man. The only thing that you don't really have to play 100% man on is if like this guy runs like a drag route right now or like a slant right now, then he can kind of fall off. But for the most part, in the fire zone, which is really like a cover 3, and you're bringing a blitz with it or whatever, or whatever it is, like the outside guys are damn near manned up. They have a lot of man responsibilities. So when you guys hear people say Richard Sherman is a zone corner, right? Like Richard Sherman is so good. Seattle ran a ton of this, where these guys are pressed up on the outside and they are damn near manned up. There's a lot of man principles built into it. But you see the underneath guys kind of drop off. You'll see him too. He kind of fall off, and he's playing his zone as well. But we're looking at Deommodore Lenoir. So the thing that I wanted to kind of note here, again, I think Lenoir does a really good job of feet before hands. But I'll tell you where he messed up and why this guy was able to get a step on him. Shot his outside hand. All right. What happens if you shoot your outside hand while this guy's getting a release outside, and if he kind of squares you up, so now you're kind of even and you shoot your outside hand, it's going to lock your outside hip, and it's going to make it a little bit harder to turn around. So if you watch him, initially, he's good, right? He's good. But right here, he goes to shoot his outside hand. See, his leverage is gone. This guy's pretty much outside of him now, right? So he's going to end up shooting his outside hand, and that's going to lock his hip. And then watch the space that he creates. Remember, he hasn't had trouble running with anyone else. He ran with Tyreek Hill as well as you could hope. He's had to guard a couple of verticals already. And so far, nobody has really had, like a legit, like couple steps on him. But right here, he shoots that outside hand and he ends up locking his hip. So this is what happens. See that? Now he's chasing. This all happened because he shot his outside hand at the line of scrimmage. All right. So if you guys ever hear me say, oh, don't shoot your outside hand or whatever. And then now, once you get in this, because look, he's been running with guys just fine. But you shoot that outside hand, it locked that hip. And then this is the results of locking that hip, being in chase mode. Now you're running, you're willing to go for everything because now your time clock is sped up. Now, okay, real quick. Y'all know I always got some little nuggets, little things that be going through my head. All right, real quick. What does it mean? What does it mean for a time clock, right, to be sped up? And I talked about this with Trey Lance, right? And we'll look at a little bit of some Trey Lance stuff because there was some stuff that I really liked with Trey Lance. All right, but I talked about this before the game, and I was like, man, I don't like Trey Lance playing behind that second team offensive line because it's going to create some bad habits and his clock is going to be sped up. So what I compared it to is a cornerback, right? So a cornerback, when your clock is sped up, if you watch this guy at the line of scrimmage and he worked, right, and he shot that outside hand, which ended up locking his hip. And if you watch him after that, he's just chasing, right? So all your technique is out the window. You're just in chase mode. You're not reading the receiver down. You're just chasing him wherever he goes. So it's the same thing kind of with a quarterback. When a quarterback does not trust his offensive line, what does he start doing? Technique starts breaking down. Don't let mechanics start breaking down, right? We saw that a lot with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's not sorry. Sam Darnold's not trash. Sam Darnold's time clock got sped up because he had the worst offensive line in the league every year, right? So now his mechanics start breaking down. People are looking at things and it's like, oh, well, look, he's doing this better. It was falling away here. And even sometimes when he has an open guy, he might miss because he's so accustomed now to rushing everything that he's doing, right? That's what's happening here, where his technique and everything is rushed. We saw that sometimes with Trey Lance. Trey Lance, you could tell he stopped trusting the offensive line. So what he started doing, because Trey Lance came out sharp. He came out, if you include the drops and count them as completions because they hit guys in the hands or whatever, right? He started off, and if you count the screens, because the screens, they were kind of thrown backwards, so they counted as runs. But let's just take that all into account. We're talking about he's like 9 for 9 starting off, right? If you take the drops away and you make those completions and you add the screens in there, Trey Lance would start off 9 for 9. So it was like, okay, this is good. But then the more he's getting hit, now starts to rush a little bit. You can start to rush, and if you do that, you can start to develop some bad habits. So that's what it means, like when your clock is sped up a little bit. All right. So anytime you guys hear me talk about somebody's clock sped up, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Here we go. What up, crowd? Good job. Need more of this. Yes, sir. I'm gonna bring it. Now we got the games going now, so I'm gonna be getting into all this. This is like my favorite time of the year. No USC quarterback has won a Super Bowl either. No Texas Tech quarterback had won a Super Bowl until Mahomes did. Like, so, I mean, I don't look at that stuff like that. It's like nobody has ever done it until somebody does. Like, that's how I look at it. And I always feel like there's like somebody's going to be the exception. At some point, someone's going to be the exception. All right. So here we go. Back to the film. Ooh. All right, here we go. So we got Deommodore Lenoir. He's up top. Obviously, that's where the square is. All right. Again, great job. Great job with his patience at the line of scrimmage. All right, now he's not targeted on this one. Ambry Thomas is. But I just want to watch him. I'm telling you, this is not an easy thing. When the space is already created, How patient can you be? Because at this point, a lot of times you'll see guys really kind of get out of there, or they'll open up one way or another. Now, I thought he did a really good job of staying square throughout that entire time. Let's watch him. Stay square. Good feet. Good feet. Feet before hands. Watch the feet. 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 All right, hands. Boom. Hands on. Good. And now he's with him, and he just runs with him downfield. So that was good. Do you guys want to talk about this Ambry Thomas? That's tough. Back shoulder. That's why you want to stay more dick to hip. And you got to know if I'm even, that back shoulder is probably coming. Depending on the relationship with the quarterback or the receiver. Packers, week 3, that back shoulder is coming if this is Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. All right, here we go. Is this the last clip? Might be. Let's see. All right, again. Now he's got a guy that's more on the line. All right. I want to hug this line, and I want to check with the ref. I want the ref to have to tell me get back. All right, so let's watch him. Good. Hand stab. This was one of the, I don't want to say a few times, but just to see him so aggressive at the line of scrimmage, boom. He didn't even move his feet. So he switched up the technique on his ass. Watch this. He didn't even really move. And I'm big on feet before hands, but he didn't even really move it. And now, again, these guys aren't scheming or game planning for these matchups. So he doesn't know what this guy is or what he is at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got to the point where he was like, you know what, dude, you're not really giving me nothing. So I'm just going to kind of be even more patient. I'm not even going to move. I'm just going to stab your ass in the chest. Watch that stab. Boom. I like that. Stab it. Stab again. Boom. Stabbed him. Now he's got him controlled. That's good stuff. Now look at this. We don't think that they're like game planning, but this is a decent concept. So we got Ambry Thomas down here, and he dealt with this a few times. And if you guys listen to Locked On 49ers, you heard me talk about this. He's going to release up. So number 2 right here, he's going to release up and kind of get in his way. He's going to set kind of a natural pick on Ambry Thomas, and he's going to have to try to fight through that right now. Now, he did a good job of flattening it off. I didn't think he had the first down. But, I mean, he ran a 2-yard slant? Not even. He left right now. That's a good job by Ambry Thomas not pedaling out, right? That's what you call flattening the route off. He didn't pedal off. Dude just went right now. I think ideally they want 83 to be more or to be a little bit more patient here, so you can kind of get in the way of Ambry Thomas. But right here, Ambry Thomas feels this. He feels that. But he did a good job of flattening that route off. I mean, I don't even know what he could have done better, to be honest. Because he didn't. It just went right now. I mean, he started that slant behind the line of scrimmage. All right, here we go. And I think this is the last rep for Deommodore Lenoir. Yep. So again, people are like, oh, get the head around, right? Get the head around. Got to get his head around. And there's going to be a lot of people that say that. Again, ooh, look at the hands. Boom. Hands. Let's go. Let's go, man. What they talking about here? Deommodore. Here we go. Good. Feet. Ideally, you don't want to cross your feet. And you'll see him cross his feet a little bit. Watch it. Yeah, he crossed his feet a little bit. But cool. Now, again, they're throwing these fades kind of right now. So what's tough for Lenoir or Ambry Thomas is he doesn't quite feel like he's got him controlled, and he's trying to run vertically with him. So he doesn't quite get his head around. I mean, at the very end, you see him get his head around? At the very end, but you didn't quite see him get his head around. So this is good. Look, he's reading them down. So first, he has to wait. He has to wait until he has the receiver, until he commits to the go. Because right here, it can still be a slant, or it could be a 5-yard route. Right now, you also want to see how the receiver is. He digging, right? It could be a 10-yard route. And then once he looks, it's like, oh, damn, it's a go. But am I in control enough to get my head around? And he kind of does at the last second. Right there. See, got his head around. That was when he felt like he was in control. It was kind of late. All right, but there you go. Good job. All right, here we go. So the screen share is off. Whew, okay. Stop saying Lance is young. Practically majority of NFL starters. What are we talking about here? Big disappointment is he has not react to pressure or read blitzes. I would say Trey Lance has to become more consistent with reading it, but there were a few times where he took the snap, hit a check down or got the ball out of his hands with pressure, with the pocket collapsing, and completed some passes. I think I saw about 3 times where he did that and completed. No, 2 times where he completed, another time where Richie James dropped it. So there were 3 times where like a blitz was coming and he got the ball. He saw the blitz and got the ball in his hands right now. Now, did he take sacks? Yes. I think that's where Trey Lance is going to have to balance being aggressive with taking what the defense gives him. And, I think things like that can be taught. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not like the end all be all. I think the most important thing is, does he look like he can play? And I'd say 100%. 100% looks like he can play. We're talking about Trey Lance right now. 100%. Are there things that he can improve on? Yeah, man. I think all these guys. I'd say that, and it kind of looked like to me that Kyle Shanahan and those guys weren't trying to make him look good, right? Like that wasn't the objective, to give him just these little short passes. And it was like, nah, man, we're going to give you the offense. And we want you to work and improve within the offense. We want you to mess up. We want to have things to coach you up on. We want to tell you to take this throw. So that's what it looked like to me. I could be wrong, but I thought it actually went very well. That's just my opinion. Right now, he's a bust stat-wise. Okay, troll. That's what they said. Okay, this guy's a troll. Now that would make some sense. Because you can preseason stats don't matter. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what Trey Lance's stats are in the preseason, right? It's all about what does it look like? Where can he improve? Can he improve those things? And what does his skill set say? Was he the guy that he thought he was going to be when we drafted him? And I think from that standpoint, like yeah. I mean, if you bring up stats. When on his first throw of the game, he got outside the pocket and threw a strike to Brandon Ayuk and he dropped it. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're talking about stats and like what a bust, and it's like he 3-step drop, get the ball out, boom, throws a strike on a deep out to Richie James for a first down and he drops it. So it's like the stats, it doesn't mean anything right now. Now, over a large sample size, if we're talking about, a full season, and he's throwing 35% during the season, then yeah, I give you that. But from what I saw, there wasn't anything that was alarming, like at all. I didn't see one thing that was alarming. I mean, you can come on, we can talk about it. Here is the invite here. There we go. So you can come on. McWorld 99999. You can come on, man. We can talk about it. Again, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, all that good stuff. All right. McWorld 999. You want to come on? You know what I'm saying? We could talk about it. I would love to hear your opinion, because sometimes the way it comes off in like a chat, text message or whatever, y'all know this with like your lady or whatever, right? Like I could say one thing to my wife or baby moms or whatever, and it might come off a certain way when really like I'm saying it a different way. So if you want to come on McWorld 99999, you know what I'm saying, and have that conversation, I would much rather that than kind of keep the back and forth going, because maybe you can articulate what you're trying to say better through actual verbalizing it. Okay, we got my dog Dion on here. Hey, McWorld 99999. My dog Dion beat you to the punch. Put my headset in real quick. Dion, what up, baby?
What's happening with you, Croc? How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm just chilling. What's good with you, bro?
Hey, man, I'm just chilling. McWorld, yeah, nah, dude is a troll, man. He's definitely a troll. Nah, he was being rude to Melissa earlier when you first came on and you had the internet problems.
Yeah.
He literally put in the chat, Melissa's probably a dude. Don't trust any female's profile pic. So I'm like, come on, bro.
So he on some different stuff.
He just out there. He out there for the negativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, he out there for the negativity. Ain't nobody paying attention to this cat.
So
yeah, man.
Real quick, and then I got Malachi coming on here. He just clicked in, but real quick, man, like, what are your thoughts on the game? Like, any like major takeaways? Whether defensive guys that you really liked, quarterback, running game, Trey Sermon. I haven't heard people really talk about his performance much, but any like real legit takeaways?
I'll make it quick since you got other guys waiting. I was at the game. I was there live. It was my first time in Levi's, bro.
Okay, yeah.
When I tell you it was electric, it was super, super electric, man. Crazy fun. But what I can say is that Trey Lance looked as good as he was gonna look playing with a makeshift offensive line. Like, we literally didn't put any starters out there. We didn't put any starters on the defense out there. So when you see it, you're like, oh, okay, well, he did what he could. And like you said, there were several drop passes. So preseason stats, no, they don't matter. And Trey Lance looked as good as he was able to. My stars, honestly, was Deommodore Lenoir, who just got through talking about. He looked good. Talanoa Hufanga. Everybody was all I heard through training camp was, we don't know if this guy's going to make the squad and he doesn't look good and this, that. He looked damn good in the game to me. And I was there in person to see it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say Lenoir, Hufanga, the kid Simba, he looked damn good with his end around, and he looked great on the kick return.
Had some nice explosive plays.
He had some nice explosive plays, and he looked a lot better than Richie did. I think, honestly, Richie and Craycraft put themselves on the roster bubble in that game. Right. Those two dudes, they on the outside looking in now. You know what I'm saying? We just cut Watkins Jr., so he's probably going to wind up clearing waivers and getting stats on the practice squad, but he wasn't making the 53 anyway. We all knew that. So, from that game, man, my takeaway was the defensive line is deep. Don't got no worry when we got to rotate dudes out and spell guys. I'm perfectly happy with that. Defensive line is deep. The other starter that I saw was Jonas Griffith. We had him last year.
He played well.
Yeah, UDFA out of Kentucky. He played well. He did number 53, a great service, because that was Navarro Bowman's number. And I actually got Bowman's jersey. So when I went to the game, man, I got a brand new hat and I bought a Trey jersey.
Yeah.
So I went to the game super fresh to death, man. It was super fun, man. It was a blast. But looking at the defense,
you in the Bay or what?
No, I live in Arizona. I went to the Bay. I went to Santa Clara, like the hotel that I stayed at. It's called the AC Hotel. The hotel is amazing. Got one of the got the rain shower and shit. The joint was super dope. You know what I'm saying?
Real player. Yeah.
You get in there. You know what I'm saying? You do your thing. But it was the thing was, man. Honestly, those were the dudes that stood out. Talanoa Hufanga, Deommodore Lenoir, Jonas Griffith. Hasty looked pretty good when he was in there. The only thing I don't like about Hasty is he dances a little too much. He looked for the jump cut a little too often. But he did score the touchdown. Trey Sermon, to me, he was all right. I didn't see nothing spectacular that made me go, wow, we drafted this guy. Aaron Banks wound up with the shoulder injury. Moore, he was a little questionable, So our second team offensive line, I'm worried about that depth. But as far as our starting offensive line, I have no worries at all. We should be solid.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm about to get Malachi up in here.
All right, bro.
You're good, Mr. Smith. All right, appreciate you, Dion.
Good to catch up.
Hey, Malachi, what's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I was big fan, man. I've been listening to you for a couple years now with the Locked On podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I was actually just listening right now and accidentally clicked over it, but since I have an opportunity to talk to you, I'm gonna go ahead and take it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, I like your analysis. The brother who came before that, I completely agree with him. I've watched the game several times, and talking about the offensive line, I think he's right. I don't think there's as much worry, as much panic as a lot of people are making it out to be right now. In looking at the tape, I don't know if you've noticed this, that at least 3 of the times on the sacks that Lance took, it was due to the running backs. I know most people never look at it this way, but in the first one, the lineman, the right guard, tripped over the back because he was out of position.
I saw that he like stepped on his
the
foot
other
or
one
something.
where, he was beat around the end. It was because the back. It's almost like, me as a basketball player. It's almost like when you double team someone and you get 2 guys that hit to the side, and then the guy just goes around because one guy's going in one direction and they kind of slam into each other. And that's what happened. And in both of those, at least 3 of the cases, the fault was not with the line, even though it looked like it. It was actually, if you go back and look, the back was out of position. So I think those things are going to be corrected over time, and when we have the different backs, when we have our regular backs in there, I think those problems are not going to be as bad. But yeah, I think a lot of people are panicking behind the O-line when I don't think you should. Now, I don't think the O-line is as good as we hoped it, it would be, but
at least not the O-line that played Saturday. Because, there wasn't any Alex Mack. There wasn't a Trent Williams.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. Okay, that's all I had to say. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Keep with your show. You're doing good, man. I know,
man, I appreciate
you don't hear all the people who are commenting and seeing what you're doing, but I love your analysis. I always feel that I agree with what you're saying. You're spot on 99% of the time. There was
that 1%, I welcome that, because to me, I feel like if I'm going to improve or whatever, I don't want people to agree with everything I say. I hope that there's pushback, and I hope that people challenge me to maybe think deeper. And I think one thing that you brought up with the running backs, I think that was a great observation there. And that's something for me to look at, because I think on the surface level, most people would have just been like, oh, bad offensive line, me included. But you bringing up the running backs, I think and that's a big part of it too. The running backs having to pick up the pressure.
Yes, sir. If you look at both of those plays, what I saw was the back got up a little bit too far and behind the guard, and he kind of got pushed. Now, he was out of position, but he fell down and got beat completely because he tripped over the back. And in the other one, it was real subtle, but as he was beat around the end, I believe it was on the 2nd or 3rd sack, the running back was to his left, so he couldn't step completely to his left because the back was there. And it was very quick, but as a basketball player, I recognized it immediately. Right? It was like, okay, you're out of position there. You're supposed to come up through the middle and give him the space to step out so that he can go wide. But it was that instant where it was, in this case, it was the left tackle hesitated because there was someone there. And in that hesitation, he got beat around the end. So I think those problems are going to be corrected as we go forward. But I like this team, man. I think this is the best Shanahan team that he's had. And if they can stay healthy, I think the rest of the league is going to be sleeping on what the Niners can do this year.
Definitely. Hopefully they can have guys like Kinlaw.
With Garoppolo or Lance. You know what I mean?
Right. Either or. Yes, sir. Man, I appreciate you coming on, Malachi.
Thank you, man.
Mr. Malachi.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, no problem. All right, I appreciate everybody that's in the comments. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We got over 110 people in here, and I'm hearing that the likes aren't all the way up. Get those likes up, baby, so it can help with I think it helps with the algorithms. That's the only reason why I tell y'all to do it. I think they say something about the algorithms or something, and it helps people see it. I know what this is. This is for the office. So this goes into my office. This one Mr. Smith was dropping off. Got me a nice big dry erase board to kind of throw up there. I'll be back in the office tomorrow. I appreciate everybody that's coming in here. Croc Talks Football, other guys and writers need something to write about. Yeah, I just talk about what I see, man. That's all. And I try to bring it to y'all and explain it in a way that, like, not like everybody's stupid or something, but, a way that's easy to kind of retain the information. I think sometimes guys like get a little too technical with things, and it makes it hard for even like me to understand. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? All right, so I try to give it in a way to where you guys understand it well. You guys want to go over some Trey Lance stuff? Now, with me going with Trey Lance, again, I'm not like this offensive guru or anything like that. And on QB Mondays, I got my guy Greg Pinelli on there. But I can pull up the game and I can bring up some things that I have, I don't say questions about, but like the way I see it. I can bring that up if you guys would like. And then we can kind of talk about things. Because watching it back through, I'm like, oh man, like this is not bad at all. Like this is good. Like there's some good things. And then I try to look at it, I try to envision things where like, okay, if that wasn't Charlie Warner and it was George Kittle, what would it look like? You know what I'm saying? I try to look at it from that perspective. So if y'all want, we can look at it. Do it. All right. Listen, I'm so thankful you explained the head coach, the head thing, Croc. Here we go. Yes, please. All right, here we go. So I actually still have it up, right? Hold on. I think everybody has kind of like skipped over everybody's kind of like skipped over Jimmy Garoppolo. I think we got to talk about a little bit about what Jimmy Garoppolo did. Arden Key thoughts. You know, I didn't watch Arden Key yet. Melissa, let me watch him, and I promise I'll get right back to you. All right, I haven't like just fully watched him yet, and you all know me. I don't want to talk out of my ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to start talking about something that has nothing to do with anything, and you're like, man, that's not what happened. All right, so I want to be as informed as possible if I'm going to talk about Arden Key. But he is somebody that I was looking forward to kind of seeing how he does. But I got to go back and watch him. All right, let's get this. I don't want to diminish what Jimmy Garoppolo did, but here we go. Where's the share screen? All right, here we go. So I think this is good. It was interesting to see like kind of how to utilize Jimmy Garoppolo and some of the things that they asked from him. I think this is more so a lot of what we've seen from Garoppolo, right? Boot action, quick pass, get the ball in his hands right now. Now, I don't know if this is just something that he just feels more comfortable doing. But definitely, I mean, he's one of the guys that ends up leading the NFL in, with his receivers yards after catch. Now, this, I wonder if, and I don't want to nitpick Jimmy. I don't want to act like I'm picking on Jimmy. But is Jimmy supposed to lead Deebo Samuel here? Or is he supposed to stop? He kind of threw it to where Deebo had to turn around for it and then make this guy miss instead of catching it in stride and just keeping it going up the sideline. See how he had to stop, then he had to make the guy miss. But maybe Jimmy did it on purpose. I believe this was a run play. We talked about Trey Sermon a little bit. All right, here we go. Jimmy Garoppolo again. Handoff. Now, some things I've seen is like, oh, Jimmy has done a good job or a better job of moving the sticks, but it's like, man, I mean, pretty simple so far game plan. Run up the middle. Nice strong run. Gallman. All right, here we go. I think this is the throw to the fullback. Yeah, see, so I think this is if you want to start, and not that this is a negative, but I think Jimmy is much quicker with getting the ball out right now. And he takes a more conservative approach. Whereas as of right now, Trey Lance probably would not have thrown this ball. Because I think Trey Lance is looking for this throw. I think Jimmy is taking what you give him right now. Like, I think Lance would want to throw this at the sticks instead of this. That's just what, and again, this is just one game. But, look at tendencies. That's one of the differences right now. Now, you do have 3rd and 5 here, and they end up, was it a screen, illegal pick? Like, bro, you got to be more subtle. All you got to do is just kind of settle down in front of where the guy is and not knock him over. Boom, he knocks him over. All right, so let's move forward a little bit. All right, here we go. So we got Trey Lance in here. Trey Lance the bust, as McWorld 99999 said. All right, so first play, obviously play action. Now he had some deep curls, and I think for one of them there was kind of a window if he wanted it. He shied away from it a little bit. I think this guy kind of got in his vision a little bit, but maybe as he continues to play, that might be something that he's more willing to pull the trigger on. He also has these short routes right now, these checkdowns. I think Trey Lance, in theory, just he seems to have a more aggressive mindset. Now, at some point, maybe they do need to say, all right, dude, like, just get the ball right now. And they might be telling him that this week. So next week, you might see him take this. But I think this is not what he's thinking about. This is. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's like, what? There's 3 guys right here. He puts it on him, though. But I think just in theory, he's just a more aggressive passer. Is it wrong? Is it right? I like the aggressiveness. I think he wants to push the ball. He doesn't want to take this. Now, at some point, he's going to have to learn that he has to take those, especially if it's a situation where he can't buy time, or if it's a situation where the offensive line isn't holding up, or if somebody breaks free right now, right? You got to be able to hit your check down right now and know exactly where these guys are and hit them. And I think that'll come. Now, how is that going to come? And talking to my guy, Greg Pinelli, if you guys haven't already, I know like over between Periscope and YouTube, we've had over like 2,500 people watch it. But Greg talked about that, and he said, like, well, there's something that's going to improve with experience, him playing, and film study, knowing to get the ball out of his hands right now. All right, 2nd down. This is going to be a run play, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Now, this is the play. We had Malachi on, and he was talking about the running back, right? He said he felt like the running back was an issue on 3 of the sacks, where he felt like the running backs were either getting in the way, and you see it right there where Brunskill stepped on the running back's foot. So, obviously, it's not ideal. But let's see, could he have gotten the ball out of his hands quicker? Probably right here. Right? What happened is, and I'll tell you what happens. And I've heard JT O'Sullivan kind of talk about this on his YouTube channel, QB School. Amazing YouTube channel. But he sees that color flash. So a lot of times guys see that color flash, their eyes tend to drop. So instead of keeping his eyes up and seeing this crosshair and just hitting him, he dropped his eyes and looked at the rush. So that's exactly what happened here. All right. Now, again, you do want it to get to the point where right now he gets the ball out and he sees this and he just hits the crosshair and he takes what's there. Those are things that he's going to have to improve on. But guess what? A lot of people want to sit him or, he's not ready to start, but he's not going to really see those things and get better at them and improve on it, like, unless he's really out there. Now, you could say maybe in practice, but in practice, he can't get hit. So in practice, he might even complete this because he's not worried about this dude sacking him. But he has to get to the point where his eyes don't drop because he sees that color flash in front of his face. Easier said than done. I could never play quarterback. All right. Now, obviously, we're getting to the Is it time to just put Nsimba Webster back there? I think so. Is it time to just put Nsimba Webster back there? My bad. I still got the. All right, here we go. So, boom, big play action. He says, I mean, he talked about it. I don't think that there's anything more to kind of really be said, but I will talk about it from his standpoint because I think everybody is kind of talking about it from Trey Lance's kind of standpoint, and that's great. Obviously, like, good job. But let's talk about it from this guy. First of all, he has to take a mandatory inside release, and the corner is all over it. Hands all over him. Good. But he does a really good job of, one, fighting through it. This is a big, strong dude. I know people look at him, and it's like, okay, like Trent Sherfield, all right. Like, dude's 6'1", 220 pounds. He's a big, strong receiver. All right. So he fights through it. But here, like, this is where it's impressive. One, the throw that leads him away from everybody and gets him to kind of flatten it off a little bit. And then kind of see him go up. Now, this angle now, the ball takes him upfield so that he's able to hit it in stride. Look, he's able to hit it in stride, boom, and go. But this speed right here, break away, because I did show a play from Terrace Marshall where he got ran down. He wasn't getting ran down. I think he's got a little bit of juice. But look, good job. Fighting through the contact, off, boom. Flatten it, okay? Hit him in stride, get him going upfield. Touchdown. That's a good job. Good job all the way around. All right. Did I go too far? Nope. First. Yeah, maybe. Hold on. Okay, so we had the interception. All right, so Trey Lance is taking the field again. Run. That was a good job. He's a fluid mover. I'm telling you, man, he runs a lot like Aaron Foster. Kareem Hunt. All right, here we go. Handoff. Now, what's going to happen is, and this is what's cool about having a quarterback that's more of like a dual threat. They will pull this. Now, right now they didn't, but they will pull this and boot him out. And he'll have the option to hit something that's right now. Maybe this guy dives in and then comes back out and it's an easy completion, or he can take off with it. Because look, if he takes off, look at that. Good job by the offensive line. Look at this wall. I think they're running up the middle here. All right, here we go. This is one of those throws that I was like, yeah, that technically in the stat book, this is a run play. So when you see his completions and incompletions, this is not one of them. This is a run for Juwan Jennings. And he had two of these because technically it's a backwards pass. I thought Gallman looked pretty quick. All right, now these are things you're gonna have to see, right? You got pressure coming. They sent 6 guys, so now you have a free runner, and I think what he has a habit of doing right now is dropping his eyes. So ideally, and what Jimmy G would have done is, Jimmy G would hit that right now. Ball would be out. Boom, hit it. And if you hit it in stride, he may score. Right? Because this guy's man-to-man here. Everybody's man across the board. This is a zero coverage blitz pretty much. No, because I think, yeah. So ideally, you want him, hit this guy right now. But I think he's seen the color flash. And he's not getting the ball out. So how do you improve on that? It's gameplay. Seeing this happen. Understanding it. Starting to understand what he's seeing pre-snap. Like, to me, it's like sitting on the bench is not going to help that. But he can do enough to where you're going to be fine. Like these things aren't going to happen all the time. But when they do happen, everything has to be a lesson learned. At some point, he's going to have to experience this. So whether it's right now or it's week 1, week 2, week 3, get him start seeing all this. And really, throughout his entire rookie year, there's going to be things that he hasn't seen. But I will say one thing, and Kyle Shanahan kind of talked about how he doesn't really make the same mistake twice. I think Mike McDaniel said it as well. He gets that pressure now, ball's out. Boom. Right? And that's what you want to see. Like the guy said, well, he doesn't see pressure. He doesn't feel pressure. Well, he felt it here, and he got the ball out of his hands right now and hit the back. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. All right, here we go. So I think this is when they got the ball at the 1-inch line. I thought this was very impressive because I was just looking at it like, oh, man, they're backed up. They're just going to run a couple times, try to get some space. And they came out here with the rookie and did a play action on the goal line. And he just lets it go. Boom. Hits him in stride. Good job. Now, I know the defender fell down. But regardless of the defender falling down or not, he pulled the pin. Got your hand on the ball, pull the pin, like go to throw. He pulled the pin and was getting the ball out as the defender was already, look, ball's out. He doesn't know this guy is about to fall. That ball's out. He was throwing it regardless. Now, this is what gets me excited. Say instead of Charlie Warner, this is George Kittle. What does it look like if this is George Kittle? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I try to look at. So I get it. You got Trey Lance out there, and he's with some young guys and whatnot. But I look at it like, well, what does Trey Lance look like when he got George Kittle out there? What would this look like? Because there's a chance this might be 99 to the crib. Because I don't know if George Kittle's letting one guy tackle him in the open field. And he's moving way faster. So that's how I try to look at it. All right, here we go. Boom. Play action. Now he throws in, obviously it's dropped. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, maybe a tough catch. Like maybe River Craycraft is never going to catch that. All right, he got locked up. But I try to look, and this is tough when you don't have the all-22. Was anybody else open? I've actually seen a version of the all-22 on this clip, and nobody else was really open. So that was it. But this is good. Now, the bad is short as sticks. Whose fault is that? That's River Craycraft, bro. You got to run your route with depth. That's what happens, though, when you start to feel rushed and you start to get widened out. You run now way too short. You got to push that up another The ball's out though, so hey, this is actually a pretty good job of throwing with anticipation. So maybe that was how it's supposed to be, and he was just trying to, and he just didn't have enough space at all or separation. Because the quarterback, watch when he throws this. He's not even out of his break. Look at this. He's going to throw the ball. Not even out of his break yet. They're going to start talking about throwing with anticipation and all that. Throwing guys open. He's getting that ball out right now. Look at that. That ball is up, ready to go. And it's on him. Not late. Not anything. Good job. That was good. All right, here we go. I got defense out here. Hold on. What I'll do is I'll try to just get Trey Lance through the half. Oh, I think this was the drive where they just went back-to-back run plays. All right, now it's going to be third down. All right, so when we start looking at Trey Lance, and again, this is why I challenge y'all to look at, just look at Trey Lance for who he is, what he is, and where he's headed. Like, that's how you got to look at it. So you see him back here. Boom. Ball's out. Boom. I mean, it's just dropped. So from the standpoint of who Trey Lance is and what you're getting, like, this is a hell of a drive throw. Let's look at the timing of it. Ball's getting out. Look at that. And he's going to get it on him too. Boom. He just dropped it. So people like the McWorld 99999 guy, he's talking about stats and what other people, but I think when you just really watch the game, like, this is impressive. This is impressive. Just dropped it. Boom. Look at that ball come out. Get it on him. He just dropped it. Now, I think part of him dropping it maybe was him trying to focus on where to get his foot down. But whatever. I think sometimes people kind of forget about that aspect of it. Like, throw something up in the air and then act like you're running like out of bounds and then try to catch it while keeping your feet in bounds. And you'll notice how it takes a little bit of your concentration away from the football, or a little bit of your focus away from the football. Watch Hufanga streaking here. That was a good job. All right, here we go. I'll get like one more Trey Lance series in for y'all. So this I was impressed with, and I get it. He missed. But just watch the eyes. Watch him work from left all the way back to the middle. Watch this. And when we talk a lot about the offensive line and maybe not trusting the offensive line, but right here it looks like he trusted. Look, he's looking left, back, over, middle, boom, ball's out. And I think Richie James, I don't think Richie James wanted that. I don't think he wanted that. I don't know. What y'all think? There's Richie James. There's the ball. Did he get alligator arms because he sees number 24 right here? I don't know. What y'all think? Again, I appreciate everybody that's tuned in watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. almost 140 of y'all in here. So we should have at least 140 likes. But yeah, like, and I'll go back to that. So again, one more time, we're talking about like, what is Trey Lance? Who is he? And I think the 49ers, and I talked about this on Locked On 49ers, it was not about making Trey Lance look good. It was all about getting him the experience to do things and, the offense as if how they see it and how he wants to run his offense. Because it's like, if Trey Lance can do this, then it's going to be all the way open, especially when you add the run game element, which he did not run at all this game. Trust me, that is coming. He was an 1,100-yard rusher in college. But it's like, if I can get him to look left, okay, it's not there. Look, it's not there because he's outside shade. Boom. All right, let me work back here. Okay, not there. Then I got Richie James over the middle. And he lets it go. Now, Richie James, I just need you to, can you come up with this? That's all. I just need you to come up with this. So when people start talking about ranking the quarterbacks, let me see if the other quarterbacks are challenging themselves from this standpoint. I watched Mac Jones. I watched him throw all those checkdowns. Now here's another quote unquote completion that goes down as a run. So this is not included in Trey Lance's stats. That's a screenplay. It ended up being a running play. Now that one's almost picked off. But okay, so and good play by the defensive back. Good job of showing two and sinking under. Look, he's showing man. Watch this corner. I'll tell you exactly what Trey Lance is seeing. Watch this. So this looks like man coverage. It looks like man, you got locked here with a single high safety. That's what he's seeing pre-snap. This is man coverage. Now, at the snap, this guy bails back this way, and this guy comes this way. So now you're going more to a too high. But he's not seeing that. And even if he does, he's looking at this corner here. Look at this corner. He looks like he's man. He's looking up. He's squared up with this guy. This looks like man coverage. This is a hell of a job by Kansas City Chiefs. Hell of a job. This looks like man. It still looks like man. So again, it started off looking like man. Now he does think it might be like some type of zone, but he's down and it looks like he's in man. He's squared up. So he's like, oh yeah, cool. I got this whole shot. Boom, ball's out. What is he doing here? That's a hell of a job by this corner. Hell of a job. And he almost picked it off. That would get anybody. Like that would get the best of quarterbacks. With how late they waited to show that, like that would get most quarterbacks. He showed that late. I mean, it looked like man coverage. And I could see like post snap, if you're like, man, post snap, the guy bailed out right now and he sunk off. It didn't look like that. Like post snap, the corner was still down, squared up, looking like his man coverage on the guy. Then as soon as the guy went inside, the corner fell off and fell off into that open area. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, that was a good ass play. I might need to like show that somewhere else. And then he missed this. I don't know. I look at this play like, I always try to look at it like this. Good pocket too. If this is George Kittle, does he get this? If it's George Kittle instead of Charlie Warner? So that's how I try to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. He can only play with who he's playing with. But if that was George Kittle, what does it look like then? So I don't know. I'm excited to see him play more with the ones. Hopefully he gets that opportunity. I think it'll definitely look a lot different than what it looked like in the game. And the game wasn't bad. I thought there was a lot of good things that I saw. Watching him kind of work to go through his progressions, watching him be aggressive and work to push the ball down the field. I thought there were a lot of good things that I saw. How do you guys feel about it? He had one more drive, but it was kind of more of the same type of stuff. I think as long as he's behind that, as long as he's with that second group, I mean, these guys are backups for a reason. This is a guy that you're trying to prep to be a starter. So it's like you're going to see some of those inconsistencies regardless. I don't know. But anyways, man, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Hit that like button right now. If you don't already, go ahead, listen to Locked On 49ers with myself and my guy, Brian Peacock. We record daily. And I will say, I know the Wi-Fi dipped right now. Don't worry about the Wi-Fi. I know I'm blurry right now. But you guys really show up big time on the network. When you look at our numbers, like we are up there. We're up there. We're up there. I mean, we are the number one football podcast on the network. I believe we have the second highest podcast in terms of downloads and listens on Apple Pod. I was number one in 2 different categories, likes and retweets on the network. And I mean, like, shoot, that's all y'all showing hella love. So I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Locked On 49ers, we appreciate you guys. You guys show a ton of love, and it helps. It all helps. And you guys show love to this channel. So, again, make sure you guys subscribe. Hit that like button. All right. We're going to have to do this again. Maybe I'll kind of come on and do some Ambry Thomas stuff, show a little love to him. Maybe I'll get into some of the receivers. I just don't think there was enough from the receivers, but maybe I'll come on and Ambry Thomas, Talanoa, Hufanga, get some action with him. What do y'all think? We could do that. So, again, until next time, see y'all. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
CrockTalk TV podcast. Peace.